Hey everybody, what's going on? Harley Q here, and we're making another video. This one's kind of interesting. If you guys remember from my recent video, not the one about Amazon, but the one before that about my game room tour, we talked about a Dreamcast lot, which I would possibly do a video on, so here's that video. We're going to talk about some of the pros and cons of buying lots off of people that you don't know exactly what you're getting. So this is one where I saw it, she had a really good price for it, and I got a, oh man, it's an awesome deal. However, I don't know if anything works, so we're gonna test this out, and I'm just gonna record it, and we're gonna see the struggles of stuff. Also, we're also gonna test out the CD cleaning kit, and you'll understand why when you see the condition of the videos. You'll understand why I have this bad boy when you see the condition of the CDs. Spoiler alert, they're disgusting. So, without further ado, logo. Okie dokie, so here is the lot that I got. I know the wires are kind of a mess. I did not store it very well. The thing I wanted to note about this is I bought it strictly for this. Now, when I looked up the price of that, the cheapest I could find it was $90, so I believe I paid $75 for the whole lot. You'll see that I also have a light gun and the fishing rod. So if all of these things work, amazing deal. If they don't, well, yeah. So now before anyone asks why the hell my TV is on the floor, it's because I couldn't get my Dreamcast to work, and now suddenly it's working. I unplugged it 3,000 or 4,000 times, and now suddenly it's working. So this is not one of the games, this is just a game that I own to test to make sure my Dreamcast is working, because I haven't used it in a very long time, because as I stated in my game tour collection, my Dreamcast selection is very... I thought it just died. My Dreamcast collection is very tiny. So, without further ado, let's jump to the game pile. Okay, so the first game that I want to test out is House of the Dead. It's actually House of the Dead 2. It's actually House of the Dead 2. Kind of curious if this, can we scoot this up a little? Kind of curious if this is going to work. Now, I haven't cleaned any of this discs. These are literally right out of how they were given to me. So let's see. That doesn't sound healthy. I am sad that the case is pretty much destroyed though. Like, destroyed. Woo! House of the Dead 2 works. Okay, so here's the light gun for it. Obviously can't test it on this TV, so maybe at the end of the video when I'm done filming, I'm gonna go take it downstairs and test to see if it works down there on my tube TV. So, and I might just put that in post, see if I got it to work or not. We'll see. One down, that's good. Okay, our second game is Sega GT. I don't even know what this is. I guess it's a racing game. Let's see if we boot up. I might just clean these discs anyway because they are disgusting. Everything was sanitized. I got this before the whole COVID thing. I just haven't had a chance to actually test it. So today is the day we're actually testing it. I'm kind of hoping they all work. Okay, looks like we're booting up. We're booting up. All right, so that's good too. We're getting audio and visual, and the reason why some of the screen's cut off is because right now I know the zoom feature is on the TV, so I could fix that and fix the ratio on it, and I could get it where the whole picture is actually seen on the TV. But for testing purposes, that's perfect. That's great that that's working. So I just hope my Dreamcast can stand being turned off and on this much. It has not been used that much since I got it. All right, virtual tennis. Now, this one's gonna be a twofer. We're actually gonna play this game. We're gonna test this game out because I have the, wait. This is the fishing rod. I don't know why I thought this was a tennis thing. Never mind, we're going back to the regular controller. So here we have virtual tennis. Hopefully this one works. The discs, the first couple discs that I have are actually in somewhat decent shape, so we'll see how this works. Fingers crossed. So this is actually the other, these are one of the controllers that this individual woman, I should say, this woman gave me. So I don't even know if the controllers work. I did, however, take the VMU out of this one, and it worked just fine when I put it into that controller. So, and it's reading it on this controller, so that's good. So it's not reading this disc. Okay, good to know. Unless, and the controller is also not working either. So I am getting a connection. It did have a connection there for a minute because I did get something. Yeah, see, it's getting it, but not for long. So this particular controller is busted. We don't know if that's permanently though, so we're just gonna kind of stick this one off to the side. That's not a good sign though. I'm hoping that that doesn't go for the fighting pad either. So we're gonna try the second controller. I don't know if I have to turn it on, turn it off again. Maybe that might be because I unplugged it or something. Sometimes things are finicky like that. Okay, this one looks more promising. All right, so this one works. So it is just that controller. I'll have to mark it or something and figure out why it's not working. It's the game. Okay, so this is one of the games that we're gonna have to clean, which I kind of had a feeling we were going to because it looked like there was something on the back of the disc. So what I'm gonna do is I'll just take it out. I'm gonna put this one off to the side over here, and we know that we have to clean that one. This is probably another one we're gonna have to clean. Okay, so it tells you that it does use the arcade stick. So this is one I'm worried about too with it reading, because you can see that has really bad damage on it. So it might read it, we just don't know. But I'm actually gonna get the fighting pad out, which I'm so scared to do because I really want the fighting pad to work. I will be absolutely devastated if the fighting pad does not work. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I might actually cry. I literally bought this lot because of this fighting pad, so. Now this could be a 50-50 where it's not working because of the disc or it's not working because of the fighting pad. So fingers crossed. I'm okay with Ready to Rumble boxing not working. I'm not okay with the fighting pad not working because this is not a very, I don't know, we'll see. Okay, wow, okay, so it's reading Ready to Rumble. That's a good sign. Now all I gotta figure out is if the fighting pad's gonna work, and that's where the problem starts. Maybe it'll only load just the intro. We don't know at this point. So, see, okay, so Ready to Rumble looks like we're gonna have to. The fighting pad works. Thank God the fighting pad works. Okay, so this isn't confirmed fighting pad works, but at least the stick for the fighting pad works. And let me stick a VMU in there, which I love how they have, even for the fighting pads, the VMU will go in there. Reads a VMU, that's great. You got our VMU, and this looks like this is the games that they had set up for it. So that's great. Oh my God, so it looks like buttons are working. Cool. That button's not working, but I don't know if that's just because it's not a button used for selecting. I don't know. We'll have to find a fighting game that'll work with this pad. I don't know if there's another fighting game per se. Oh, there's our fishing game. So, okay, that's great. So the fighting pad is working for the most part. Obviously this isn't concrete evidence that it's working, but I'll have to get some kind of fighting game to test out with it because I don't think I actually own one. All right, so the next game we have is it 2012? Psychic Force, 2012 Psychic Force. So this one doesn't even have its original case. It's kind of it's even a broken jewel case, so, and it is scratched up to all hell. Okay, so it's reading the disc. Good to know. Don't know why I still have the fighting pad. I think I'm just I love this fighting pad. It's so cool. Oh, look at that. It comes out in the VMU as Psychic 2012 on there. That's an awesome feature. That's a really awesome feature right there. 2012 site, or player one or whatever. That's cool. So it seems like the games are starting up, but they might not actually play. So this is where I might have to do some resurfacing, trying to get them to work. So this one doesn't look like it's going to start up. It sounds like the Genesis. It sounds like the Dreamcast is having trouble reading it. This will go into the cleaning pile. You know, sometimes these discs, they won't read the first time and you just give them a good rub down. You know, you give them a quick wipe with a microfiber. Those really soft ones that you use to clean like cases and stuff. You can use that to clean these. You can use other solutions to clean them. I actually have a kit. You guys saw it in the intro. I have a kit that I'm going to try out. I haven't bought a kit for CDs in forever. I haven't had trouble getting CDs to work. So usually I just kind of have my little purple cloth. I just kind of rub it down and I get it to work. But these are in worse condition than just a few scratches. So, or, you know, fingerprints or whatnot. So we're going to just kind of mess around with the games and see if we can get it to work. And if not, then it's not a big deal because the fighting pad works. I'm kind of curious if that Dreamcast is going to work now. The cords themselves on the actual system were rusted. So that's not a good sign. That shows that that Dreamcast was probably sitting in a wet basement or somewhere where some kind of moisture was able to cause rust to happen. So we're not really sure if it's actually going to work. If the system works, I can just buy new cables. Those are pretty cheap and I can still make a good buck off that Dreamcast. Okay, so this game booted up. So that's good. That's actually really good. None of these cases are in great condition. They're all damaged in some way, which again, when you're buying a used game is not really top priority. You want the game itself to work. I mean, cases and all the other stuff comes like second. At least for me, I don't necessarily care about having greatest hits or those red cases or whatever for PlayStation 2. So yeah, this works for the most part. We know that it works. I don't necessarily care about having the best labels for the games. I just want the physical game to actually work. So I can always buy cases online. It's not my biggest concern. Okay, so the next game that we're going to work on is the fishing game. Why am I plugging that in? It's the fishing game. What's wrong with me? Here's the fishing rod. So we're going to try the fishing rod with the fishing game, which apparently has motion sensors in there. Dreamcast was way ahead of its time. I think I'm more just happy that my Dreamcast still boots up, considering I haven't really used it, because I haven't really gotten any great deals on Dreamcast games. This was the best lot that I've gotten. So we're physically actually going to test this game out. Oh. What do I do? Am I doing this right? I don't know if I'm doing this right. Turn the rod. Did I get it? I caught a fish. So the rod works. Thank God, because this is also somewhat not cheap. I mean, it's not expensive, but it's not cheap. So, and it's cool because it actually has motion controls, and I'd actually play this game. So that's, yes, another win. I have Marvel vs. Capcom. I don't know if it's gonna work, but it's compatible with I forgot what it's called. It's compatible with the fighting pad. I just want to try this damn pad out. So it's reading the disc so far, which means I get to try the fighting pad out. Actually, now we actually get to test to see if this fighting pad works. Fighting pad. Oh, hold on, I got you. No memory found. Well, welcome to my life. See, these are the things that you don't realize about modern games. You don't have to wait for long load times or worry if the game's just not gonna work. Another one that we have to clean. So this one I might actually, there's some stuff on the back of the disc and it's scratched up. So this one I might not even read at all, but I will put it through my cleaner and try to see if I can get it to work. All right, so the last game we have is Power Stone. Now this one is the least damaged case, but it does have damage. There is some stuff stuck to this. So whatever kind of damage there was, there's some kind of damage to every single one of the games, and some of them will boot up and some of them won't. This one probably, I'm gonna say it right now, probably won't boot up. I have a feeling. However, it's compatible with the arcade stick. They don't work. So overall, the games that work are actually, there's actually more games that work than more games that don't work, so that's good. Okay, so here's the thing. I'm editing this video and we're 15 minutes in and I still have another 15 minutes worth of footage. So instead of having a 30-minute long video, I'm actually gonna make this a 2-parter. So this is the first part of me just testing the games, and part 2 will actually be out in a few days.